guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Bee and thank you so much for joining us. Today's video is of course on the beautiful NATASHA Denona Metropolis palette. This is what it looks like on the inside right here. And I've kind of already swatched all of these. I will leave my Instagram handle down below. I did save them to my little stories, so you can check out all the swatches on there. But look at this palette. I love this palette. When I saw that she released it, I knew I had to have it just because I loved the color arrangement, and I know that a lot of people are having a hard time or struggling with the fact that there's not a real color story here. But I am 100% okay with it. I really love that she's got different formulas in here. She has a new formula in here as well, but I'm just really loving, I'm loving this palette. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, that's just a good palette to look like. It just, my eyes really pull towards this green right here and this gold and this blue, but it just, every time I look at this palette, it just makes me feel a little giddy on the inside. And just to compare this palette to my other two NATASHA Denona palettes, I do have the Sunrise palette as well as the Bobbi palette, and both of these are 15 pan palettes. This one is a 28 pan palette. These are obviously bigger in pan size, if you can see. These are definitely bigger in pan size as opposed to the smaller ones in the Metropolis palette. So if you look at these two, you can tell that you're getting less pan size, but I'm okay with this because, I mean, really, when was the last time I hit pan on any eyeshadow palette? I mean, literally like none. Maybe one shade from my Modern Renaissance palette. But yeah, so I do enjoy the packaging on the Metropolis palette. It's similar packaging to the Sunset, where it's kind of got like a leather bound or a faux leather bound soft cushion, and it's magnetic, and it's not the plastic case that the Bobbi palette comes in. So this is what the Bobbi palette looks like. These are the same size, and this one is just slightly smaller and a little bit taller, I think. So if you look at it from the side profile, it's a little bit longer, but it's shorter. But I mean, really, does that really matter? Not really. I actually watched a couple of other tutorials on this palette just to kind of see what other people were doing, kind of see if maybe I could be a little bit more educated on this palette, because I literally bought it for the aesthetics. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I bought it because I thought it was just a beautiful palette to look at. So the best review that I've seen on this palette is from Alicia, and her channel name is kinkysweat, and I'll link it down below. But I totally love the way she explained this palette. I really loved her style in it, so I wanted to make sure I credited her for, you know, this video, because I'm mentioning it, because definitely I learned a lot from her video. But there's plenty of others out there. If you guys have a favorite YouTuber or whomever, be sure to check out their videos. But I really liked Alicia's video on the Metropolis palette. So I'm also going to mimic her style of how she did the video, where she did one eye with one look. And hopefully, we're gonna cross our fingers that I can come up with 4 different looks. And yeah, so this was a really long intro. Let's just go ahead and get to the makeup. Okay, I am going to use a Morphe M514, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And I believe that shade is called Rope. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here, and I'm going to put this all over my crease. And I already have my eyes primed with my Soft Ochre paint pot from MAC, which is the same eyeshadow primer that I use all the time. Okay, and on a Morphe M443 brush, I'm gonna pick up this shade right here, and that shade is called Jubilee. No, I'm lying. This shade's called Troop. This one right here. So I'm just gonna pick it up lightly And I'm going to stamp this on the outer corner of my eye. I love this. This color is so pretty. I'm actually going to go ahead and do a halo eye. So I'm going to bring this color Troop just a little bit higher up. And then I'm going to also bring it on the inner corner as well. Okay, and I'm just going to go back into that first shade Rust, and I'm just going to blend out the crease a little bit more, just to kind of make sure it's all cohesive. Okay, and I'm going to go into some NYX Glitter Glue like I always do when I'm using shimmers. I mean, always, always, always. I'm just going to tap that right in the middle where I left it blank. And I'm going to grab a flat shader brush. And I'm actually going to pick up this shade right below Troop. It's this one right here, and that one is called Fuse. I'm just going to lightly pick this one up, and I'm just going to pack it right onto that open space. And not that her shadows need to be wet, but I just wanted to see what it would look like if I did wet it a little bit, and it just makes it look so much more silkier. All right, so now that I have the center of my eye filled out, I'm gonna go back into Troop, and I'm just gonna blend out the edges to make sure everything looks cohesive. And with a tinier brush, this is a very small little Morphe brush, I'm actually going to pick up this shade right here on the far right of the palette. This one is called Queen, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. Give it a little spritz. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a different look on this eye before we wrap them up with liner, lashes, the works. With a different brush, I'm going to pick up the Zoeva 228 brush, and I am going to go into the shade, let's go into the shade Right. It's this one right here. It's an orangey one, and I'm going to just start off in the crease. And then for my next shade, I'm going to use the Jeffree Star JS6 brush. It's the flat one. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up this dark shade right here. I believe that one is Enigma, which I am right. So it's going to be this shade right here. And I'm just going to pick this up on the brush. And I'm going to add this right here at the outer V. Okay, obviously you know where we're going with this one. I'm actually going to pick up this top blue shade right here called Aqueous. It's this nice pretty blue shade. I'm actually going to pick it up on a flat shader brush, even though I feel like I would get way better payoff with my finger. I just don't have the precision with my nails on. So I'm just going to pick this up pretty generously on a flat shader brush. I am going to wet it to avoid a little bit of fallout, but before I do that, I'm going to put on some glitter glue. And I'm just going to place this right on top. mean, wow. Need I say more? Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Well, we're going to do liner, lashes, the rest of the face off camera, and then we'll finish the lower lash line together. Okay, so going into the Metropolis palette, I'm going to pick up Troop again on a flat shader brush. And I'm going to kick off all the excess. And I'm just going to go ahead and smoke out the lower lash line. Okay, and on the other side, so I only use one side, I'm going to flip this brush over. I'm actually going to pick up this green shade right here, and that shade is called Lethal, and I'm just going to add that right there, inner corner of the lower lash line. Okay, and I'm going to take my Milk Boss liner, and I'm just going to run that in the waterline. And in going into the Metropolis palette, I'm going to pick up the shade Enigma on a Zoeva 226 brush, and we're going to smoke out the lower lash line. Okay, and on this eye, I'm also going to use the shade Queen for the inner corner. And I just went ahead and I used the, what is this called? The Bobbi Brown Crushed Liquid Lip in the shade West Coast Bay. So this is going to be one look. All right, let's go take this off and do 2 more looks. Okay, so we are gonna go with, this color story right down here, starting with this color, this cranberry, and these. So this is what I'm gonna start off with at the bottom. I am first gonna start off with the shade Rhizome, which is this one right here, and y'all already know that's my crease shade. Rhizome is so beautiful. I could wear Rhizome as an everyday shade. I love it. Okay, and on a different fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up, actually not a fluffy brush, a more tapered brush. I'm going to pick up this last shade right here in the palette, and that one is called Antique, and I'm just going to pick it up the tapered brush, and I'm going to use that as my outer corner. And I'm going to get some glitter glue because now we are going with the lid shade, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Cranberry first. Is it cranberry? It's actually called Claret, and I'm just going to add it right here, right on the center of my lid. Okay, and since I only used one side, I'm going to pick up the shade next to Claret, and I believe that shade is called Helena. This one right here, it's called Helena. I'm going to pick it up on the opposite side, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner. That was a beautiful color story. A beautiful color story. So I'm going to go back in Antique, and I'm just going to blend this. Just blend these colors. I'm going to bring Claret a little bit further out. There we go. Blend them. And then I'm going to go back into Rhizome and blend the crease. And on a small tapered brush, I'm going to pick up Antique, and I'm going to run that on the lower lash line about halfway. Okay, and on the other half, I'm going to pick up Rhizome. I'm going to do it on the other side. Okay, and we're going to move on to the next color story, and I am actually going to use, this quadrant right here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to use these four colors right here. Naturally, the first shade I'm going to go into is this one right here, and it is called Azoic, I don't know. It's a really pretty deep brown color, and we're gonna go into the crease with this one. This one is one of those creamy matte formulas, so it doesn't have a super powdery finish to it, which is nice, and it's blending out really well. I'm gonna pick up this silvery shade right here. That one is called Noble, and I'm just gonna add it just right below the crease. So I'm gonna follow exactly where I was at, but I'm just gonna add it right below. And I am going from outer corner all the way in to the inner corner. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of glitter glue all over the lid. And I am going to pick up, the green shade. And the green shade is called Jubilee. I did saturate it quite a bit just because I know there's gonna be fallout with this one. And I am literally patting this all over my eye just to make sure the color gets on there, make sure there's like no crazy fallout. I am really just packing it on there. Wow, that is so, I'm so amazed. This is so pretty. For the inner corner highlight, I am gonna go into that last shade. It's gonna be this gold one right here, and it is called Blaze. It is very well named. Oh, it's so soft. It's very flaky. And I'm gonna put this right in here. I'm actually gonna put Blaze on this side too. All right, for the lower lash line, I'm actually gonna go into, what shade was it? Noble, because I really, really love this shade right here. And I'm gonna put that all over the lower lash line. All right, so we're gonna do some lashes, liner, and mascara, and then I will be back to finish off the lips. All right, you guys, we have liner and lashes on, so let me try and get closer for you guys to see. And on my lips, I used the Bobbi Brown Crushed Liquid Lip in East Coast Slay. And that's gonna complete today's makeup looks on the Metropolis palette. I hope you guys really enjoyed this new style of doing multiple looks with the same palette. I plan to continue to try to do this. I have a couple of ideas in mind. The next palette I'm going to review is the Jackie Aina palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm very excited about that one because those are typically not colors that I would wear, but I really liked them. But this is the palette. I do love this. Is this better than my Mothership 5? I don't know, but it's like second best right now. I really do love it. There's so many different looks you can do with this. I just kind of did, I kind of stuck to the little color stories that were in here. Like I said, Alicia explained the palette so eloquently that I think you should really check her video out and why I stuck with the color choices that I did. I did not have any problems with the palette, any blending issues. I did have some fallout issues, but I think that's just because some of the formulas in here are really soft, so when I picked them up and started blending them, they started to crumble, especially this blue shade right here, Enigma, and look, there it is. Yeah, I think some of the shimmer shades are just really soft, so you just have to be really careful with fallout. I don't care about fallout because typically I always do my eyes first and then I do my complexion, but if you are a complexion and then eyes person, I just, you know, just be mindful of the fallout, and I'm sure you've worked around using fallout at this point and that's how you do your makeup. I am so glad you guys decided to join me in today's video. I hope you liked the new style of the multiple looks and different colors, and I know it's a little crazy on camera right now, but I would love for you guys to subscribe and hang out. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you're notified every single time I upload a video. Leave me some comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you love. If you have the Metropolis, do you want to pick it up? Pros and cons, anything you want to discuss, I'll be down in the comment section as always, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.